Hei, tervetuloa Vitsit Sikseen podcastin pariin. Minä olen Heikki Vilja ja meillä tässä jaksossa onkin aika erikoinen meininki, koska tämä on Vitsit Sikseen podcastin ensimmäinen ulkomaankielinen jakso. This is gonna be in English because our guest today is the magnificent Ray Zambino. Welcome.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
It's me. I'm also pressing the buttons for the editing.
Yeah.
To just hit at the top if I mess up. That's what's going on there. Because this, or do you want to say it, or do you want?
You can say it.
So this is the third time that we have recorded this. The third time because I messed it up the other two times.
Yeah. Yes, you did. I remember talking to you 2 hours in English and everything went wrong. No, but it was like preparation for this conversation. Mut Ray, mitä kuuluu?
Good. Everything's good. Nothing super exciting. It's the start of the year. Mm-hmm. Or it has been the start of the year, and just getting back into doing stuff, go back into, performing, back into life after Christmas. I was in Scotland.
Yeah, you were.
I was in Scotland for Christmas.
How was it?
That was fine.
What do you do in Scotland in Christmas?
To be honest, it's much the same as here, except we don't have, there's different food.
Yeah.
There's no latikot. There's none of that. I had a vegan turkey breast.
Yeah. So what's that like?
It was good. I guess it's just like a big bit of seitan.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was surprisingly.
That's a good thing about the vegan stuff. You can have a vegan turkey or vegan ham. And it's the same thing.
Yeah. Just one product. It can be, just add the word in the end and imagine. Like that's all. What more do you need? What is food really except just remembering what it tastes like?
We bought like for Christmas like this big seitan ham thing. And then it was on the table and me and my daughter ate a bit. Nobody else touched it. And then I still had like a kilogram of it. And I made some pasta sauce or something from that. It's actually pretty good with that.
Did people eat the pasta sauce at least?
Yeah. That was good. But
that was fine.
But it was also, when I ate the seitan thing, I was like, I don't like the ham. I don't like the joulukinku anyways. But it was kind of like,
okay,
I don't want to eat this either. But then I mixed it up with some cream or something, and oat cream and everything, and pasta sauce. It was like carbonara kind of style. Very good. This is a good recipe for you.
And to any Italians watching, I know that there is no cream in a carbonara.
I know.
Carbonara.
Yeah.
That was
only
Heikki.
egg.
But
it's not vegan then. You know, if you put an egg there, then it's not.
You got me there.
Yes.
Yes. I just noticed. I just looked over at the recording and noticed I'm very pale.
Yes, you are. But that's not the lights. You just are.
Oh yeah, I'm just pale.
It's just you.
Yeah, that's just me.
That's your Scottish skin.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
So I remember you talking because we have talked a lot.
We have talked a lot.
So I remember that you said, because you're not from Glasgow, but from Scotland, from Glasgow, you're the Vantaa of Glasgow. Was it like that?
That's right. Yeah. So I'm from a place called Paisley. And Paisley is like 10 minutes outside of Glasgow. It's the biggest town in Scotland.
Yeah.
So that's impressive. It's not, but it's 10 minutes outside of Glasgow, similar to how Vantaa is outside of Helsinki. And the more Vantaa correlations is that at Glasgow Airport is in Paisley. Same as Helsinki Airport.
Yeah.
It's known for drugs and crime. Similar to Vantaa. And that's Karja lives there. No, he doesn't. No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
But it's like Vantaa had because all the towns have, the cities have like a catchphrase. Well, it's not a catchphrase, but like that thing.
Yeah.
Like they say, Vantaa was the airport city. I was like, well, that's a good way to advertise your city. It's like, it's easy to get away.
Do you not want to be here?
Yeah.
Then you should be here.
It is an airport city. You can leave anytime you want.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if Paisley has a. It must do.
It must be. But you can suggest
the people from Paisley, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, like people have like names like Glaswegian is Glasgow. Paisley, I believe, is Paisley Buddies.
Paisley Buddies. I thought it would be Baisleans.
No, it's Paisley Buddies, and I don't know why. We're just like we're very friendly as you're getting stabbed.
But it's good. There was this, can't remember her name, but this used to this English-speaking comedian in Finland, like an open mic or something. But she had a really good like a joke about Espoo, and she was wondering like, what do they call people from Espoo? Are they Espians? I thought it was funny. So, what did you do when you grew up? How was your childhood in Paisley?
In Paisley, it was fine. I mean, typical childhood, I guess. Nothing super exciting. I went to school, went to then another school, started drinking at 15.
Yeah.
You know, standard drinking in fields, drinking beer that your older friend bought you, or your friend that looks older. Like, actually, because when I was in school, in high school, I had this friend, and we were 14, 15, and he's already like over 2 meters tall.
Yeah.
Like, he was like very tall. So he could get us like anything.
Yeah.
And I remember one time because at that age you don't know how to be older.
Yeah.
Like, you think weird things make you look older. So he decided what I would do when he was going to buy vodka. He would walk into the shop, and this was his plan. He was going to like twirl his keys because then like he just locked the car or something like that. I think that's what the thing was in his brain. Yeah, so that makes you look older because you're like, I have a car.
Yeah, I'm cool.
These clearly keys for a house.
Yeah. I'm an adult.
Car.
I am a homeowner.
Well, that's also true. Yeah. I own my own home. A 15-year-old wouldn't own their own home. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
But I remember I was tall also, and I was the one. I mean, I didn't even drink, and I had to get to the older people. The older boys were like, "Go and get us some beer," and I was like, "Okay." And then I was like 13 or something. I was really tall, but it's really weird because you just think he must be old because he's tall.
Because he's tall.
I mean, like a baby face, and I'm like, "Hello,
can I buy some one alcohol,
yes,
please?"
Yes. Where do you keep your beers? Because it was really, but that's and then when they asked like papers, like, do you have any ID or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they're in my car. Well, maybe you should get them. Well, I will.
Goodbye.
I will. I'll be right back. I never go back to the store again.
I remember one time we were buying alcohol from some shop. We went into some shop to buy, and the guy said, "Not right now. The police are checking." So he knew we were underage, obviously, but he not that he wouldn't sell us because we're underage, but the police were checking.
No, but that's I think they used to know. I remember we had some like party or something, and I went to buy like 125 beers.
125?
Yeah, because it was for like we were like 20 people. So it was like, and I had I was the only one who looked old enough.
Right.
But then I had friends who didn't look old enough to carry them because I can't carry like.
Well, yeah, of course.
That many because then at the time they were glass bottles even.
Just like, clinking around.
I'll take these beers and then 15 plastic bags. Thank you.
What age were you at the time?
I think I was 15, 16. Something like that.
And there was just like a load of 15-year-olds carrying.
Yeah, going to some park to drink. It was like
drinking in the park. Just like dying in a field somewhere, drinking the worst beer that you've ever drank in your life.
Passing out there, and people were like walking dogs and falling. Oh shit, people, youngsters. Yeah. No, but it was that they clearly knew that they just didn't care.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, in the 90s, they didn't. It's the same. That's when you didn't have money to buy cigarettes. You could go to this like a kiosk thing, and they would sell you like one cigarette.
You could buy a single cigarette.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't, but he just sold his own. Or
here's a fun fact about Scotland, and they don't do this when I was growing up, but I've heard about it. in of some places. In chip shops, in the fish and chip place, chippies, they used to also sell singular cigarettes. Because it's like, you're killing yourself anyway. Why not add cigarettes into the copious amounts of oil and fat?
But I don't know if they also wrapped it on newspaper. Yeah. Maybe they did.
Yeah, salt and vinegar? No.
Yeah, I don't know, just a menthol. But did you have like something when you, besides you had a normal childhood and then beside drinking, did you have something that you wanted to do? Like, did you have like a dream
like
profession
goals,
or something?
dreams.
Yeah, something like what you want to be when you grow up.
Not really. I kind of thought that I would go into like the STEM, like sciences.
Yeah.
I was like decent enough at school, but I was like annoying at school because I was like intelligent enough that I could do all the stuff and not really study, which messed me up later when I actually had to study.
Yeah.
But it was very, I talked a lot.
Yeah.
As anyone who has met me, I'm sure, can still attest to. Because every parents' evening, the only feedback I would ever get was like, he can do the test, he's doing well, but he talks.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up.
All the time, just constantly chatting or yapping is a new word that the youngsters use on TikTok.
Oh, yapping.
Yapping.
Like blah, 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 blah.
Like having a yap session, just talking, just nonsense, just forever.
I think
young people speak.
I think young people should drink more and fucking forget the TikTok and yapping.
Stop yapping.
Just go and buy 125 beers.
125 beers and single cigarettes.
Yes, yes.
That's what
and fish and chips. That's what you need when you're a teenager, not fucking TikTok and yapping. Yeah,
I probably used that wrong as well. I'm only 34, but like I'm already sounding like an old man.
No, but you are an old man. 34 is
old. Yeah,
it is old.
Yeah, that's.
To think like, but remember when you were like 15 and you see somebody 34.
34. That's like
that. Yeah, that's like
basically death.
Yeah, it's over for him.
Yeah. It's all downhill
like,
from here.
How can he still like? Why doesn't he have his life together? That would be.
Whoa. What do you mean? What does he not have his life together? You can't just reveal that on a podcast. You know what I mean? But I have a reputation to uphold here.
No,
you can't just
mean
you come on my podcast. Oh yeah, you sit there and you press the buttons, and I'm just going to expose your life. You don't have anything to do. You don't know what you're doing. Like what? No, that's shocking.
I didn't mean like that, but it's like when you're 15, you think it's like I had a friend. We were 15, and she had an older sister who was like 23 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember this 15-year-old, my friend Helena was like, I can't believe my sister. She's already 23. She's not married. She doesn't have a house. She doesn't have kids. When I'll be like 23, I will have like a husband and a dog and a car and another car and
very important
kids.
Stuff.
And it's really weird. That's something like you think that adults might have.
Do those things. And also, question, when she became 23, how was her life?
Fucking hell, no. I know that she got twins like when she was 38 or something. So
okay, well, she got there eventually.
Yeah. But it's kind of like I guess you realize that you didn't want to do that.
Yeah, because like when you become 23, you're like,
yeah,
I'm thought. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm still like 16.
Yeah.
Like what's happening? I seen a tweet recently. That's how low this show has gotten. I'm just quoting tweets now.
Yeah.
I seen a tweet recently that was like, when you're 34, you're 27, but when you're 35, you're 50.
Yeah,
that's it.
That is true. That is true. I remember when I turned 40, it wasn't that bad to think that you're 40 years old because I've been prepared because I thought I was 40 already when I was 35 or something. You know, it goes like that.
Right.
But then I realized like I'm 40. In 10 years, I would be 50. And that was something like shocking.
That's rough.
And that was years ago.
And what age are you now?
What?
What age are you now?
I'm 45.
Oh, 5 years.
So I'm closer to 50. Oh, dear God. I must join TikTok and be young again.
Start yapping.
Yes. Well,
you do yap. That's
I don't know what yapping is, but I think that would be my thing.
It's just talking.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's just talking a lot. Again, I could be super wrong about this.
Yeah.
Young people. Where's my camera?
You're the cameraman.
Young people, comment below if we're using yapping wrong.
Do you think young people listen to this podcast?
No.
Okay.
I've seen the statistics.
But you wanted to be like a scientist or something, that you were good at school, but you were yapping a lot.
Sorry, I was too busy yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. But in fact, I actually, after school, I went to university for physics. I started doing a physics degree.
In Glasgow?
In Glasgow, but the university is called Strathclyde.
Okay.
I didn't go to Glasgow Uni because that was more theoretical. It was more like applied physics.
Yeah.
And the first year was fine, okay, but we're going to the second year of physics, and that's when you start needing to know stuff. Because the first year you can just know that the formulas work, and you can put numbers into the formulas, and it works. You don't need to know why it works, just that it works.
Yeah.
By year 2, you need to know why those formulas work, and you need to. It was the moment I realized, like, I don't want this. We had a lecture where there was 2 points. One was the 9 o'clock Monday morning quantum physics lectures.
Oh dear God.
Who puts
Monday morning?
That's sadism. That's not okay. It was taught by a one-eyed Australian professor.
One-eyed.
Okay. I don't know. It just added to the whole mystique of the subject. He was one of the first group of people to make a Bose-Einstein condensate, which is another state of matter when you supercool things with lasers. Anyway, get some science in this podcast finally. No, but so then the moment I realized I didn't want to do this is when I had to derive the formulas from first principles.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like, I don't know how to do any of that, so I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
So I left. I dropped out of the physics course and I studied film and television.
Well, that's cool.
I
mean, physics is cool, but
because film and television is much less demanding.
Yeah.
Mental. That's not fair. It's much less hard science than just straight physics.
Yeah, maybe you can. I mean, I am not a scientist or a genius, as we have proved many times this fact. But it's kind of like if you want to be creative, it's much easier to do that in film and TV than in physics. You really have to know things in physics that you can actually, like you said, on the second you have to like apply those formulas. And
you have to learn how to do it.
And then you kind of like,
works.
maybe then you can do like lots of great things. But in film and TV, you can actually do something,
make something
creative easier. Yeah. But did you have like? Did you? I mean, I know that you're a film fan and everything. But did you like? Was it a big part when you were growing up? I mean, films or TV.
Yeah, when I was like 14, 15, like I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And a lot of like art house movies, because I was cool and pretentious.
You thought you were cool.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I made this movement.
Yeah.
Cool. That means not cool.
That's what all the kids like. It's, he knows about art.
Yeah. He makes this reference. He goes,
Yeah, he knows everything about Truffaut.
Yeah. It's like, he always talks about 8.5 by Fellini. Anyway, I tried to watch it, and sorry, I'm just going to rant about 8.5 now.
8.5?
By Fellini.
Yeah.
Like, there's the first time I tried to watch that movie, there was a line in it that I just had to I had like a sobering moment of self-reflection. Yeah. Because there was some line that was so stereotypical, annoying art house. Yeah. That I just went, I can't watch this.
But it's
anymore.
kind of like that's the first place they said it. I mean, it's
the reason that is like that is because of that movie. I got that. I've watched it later, and it's fine. It's good. But yeah, I watched a lot of movies, and on in the UK we had film later on. We had Film 4. That's when I was like 16, 17, 18. In Film 4, they do a lot of like smaller indie art house stuff, and they at 2 a.m, they used to show like a lot of foreign cinema. Yeah. So I watched a lot of that. I seen some Kaurismäki movies before I moved here. I liked them; they were good. Yeah. I didn't fully understand them as I would now. Yeah. I've not seen the new Kaurismäki as of recording. Yeah. But like film 4 was, I would say, influential on that. In fact, the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie, Poor Things, was part funded also by Film 4. So they do a lot of stuff. Usually, when you see like a Film 4 logo, you're like, oh, this is probably going to be at least interesting. Yeah,
it's better than you see in the 90s. You saw Canal Plus, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or like now when you see A24.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, this will at least be interesting.
Yeah.
Rather than, so like I really like movies. And then when I studied like film and television, and it was in a place called Stowe College, which I don't think exists anymore. And I think it hardly existed when I went.
Was it? So it wasn't a good film school, was it?
It was a stepping stone to go to a good film school.
Yeah.
So the good film school in Glasgow was the RSAMD, which was the Royal Society of Arts, Music and Drama, which is now called the Royal Conservatoire.
Yeah,
very fancy place. I actually just before I moved here 10 years ago, as of last Sunday, I've been here for 10 years. But just before I moved here, I was applying to go to that film school, and I got through the first round of interviews, and they talked to this guy. Hold on, this is all connected, so I need to start. Stowe College, right?
Yeah.
Stowe College, their most famous thing is their music program, not their film program. And the reason their music program is the most famous is because their first signing for the college record label, the first signing for the record college label was Bell and Sebastian.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't really do better than that as a first signing for your college thing, right? So the music department was big, right? Yeah. And one day we had a lecture from a guy who does, I don't know if he still does, but he at least did all of Bell and Sebastian's videos.
Yeah. And
I love Bell and Sebastian, and he did music videos for lots of other people that I love. And he was called Blair, and he gave us a lecture about all of that, and it was like really nice. I really liked all the stuff. It fit in with all the sort of art housey stuff. It was filmed on film. It was really great. I was like inspired. And then I had messaged him to be like, hey, I really liked your lecture. I loved it. If there's anything I can ever do to like be an assistant or whatever on anything you're doing, like that would be great.
Yeah.
And he gave me a project that was actually from a band that one of the college lecturers had been in or involved with, and they had some vague success in the 80s.
Yeah.
And there was this comeback song called Goodbye Phoebus. The name of the band currently escapes me. Close Lobsters, I think. Anyway,
it's the band's name.
I think so. Yeah. I think it was the Close Lobsters. Anyway, again, this is all relevant, I promise. Anyway, so I did a thing for him. I filmed on film, a 16mm film. I think it looks really nice. But there was some miscommunication between me and Blair because I'd sent him the edit and he was like, okay, change this and this and this. But at the same time, I had sent the teacher the edit just to watch. Yeah. But that teacher had thought that was the final thing and pushed it on. Oh. So Blair thought I ignored all of his comments.
Ooh.
Anyway, so that comes back to doing the interviews for the Royal Conservatoire. It turns out one of the people that they consult is that guy. So I think I missed out because I messed that up.
Yeah.
Because I had sent something too early. Which is a lesson, don't send something away before you know it's finished.
Yeah, because that's also something that you don't want to, I mean, that just gives, for a teacher, it's kind of like, well, he doesn't really want to listen. He doesn't want to, because that's the
exactly.
problem.
But that's not what I wanted.
I know it was a miscommunication, but it's usual that people who go to art school, and some of the people are like, I already know everything. Yeah. So why would we take you to the school if you already know everything? Just go and do, because we can't really help you if you don't listen.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not that, but it's kind of like probably what
I'm not
thought.
that. I will say, thank you for saying that. I'm not that now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things about moving to Finland for me is humbling me. Because I could have been a bit annoying, arrogant, pretentious, etc. But then I came here and I was doing like stand-up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to quickly learn, like, right, okay, like I cannot be as competitive.
Yeah.
It can't be as like not aggressive, but like pushing myself as much as I could in like Scotland. And I'd only been doing it 2 years in Scotland, so it would have been mental. And obviously that's just growing up. Also, I was 24 when I moved here, and your brain chemistry's messed up, and you learn stuff and learn that you're an idiot and that you need to stop doing some stuff. Well, like one thing I remember when I first moved here, I'd organised a night. I think this might have been in Portugal, but it might have been in Barbase. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Barbase. But and we had the audience there, and that was all fine. It was good. And afterwards, Kaisa Pulkkanen was giving out leaflets, like flyers, for Joni Koivuniemi's show.
Yeah.
Matthias Koivuniemi's show. And then I was like, hey, what are you doing? That's my audience. Like, you can't just use my audience to advertise as a thing. Because in the UK, it's more competitive. It's more like territorial. So I was like, hey, what are you doing? And I think minimum 3 people took me aside and was like, hey, just calm down. Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it. And I was like, oh, right, okay, sorry. So I've apologized to Kaisa like years ago, but also on this, sorry, Kaisa, for being a dickhead.
I apologize. And Kaisa, for you also, if you're gonna fucking put flyers on my audience, then it's gonna be something. Okay, so but then you didn't go to the film. You studied the film thing. But when did the stand-up start, and why?
Why? Okay, so I started stand-up maybe 12 years ago, so that would have been 2014. 2012, yeah, 2012. And I started because a friend of mine asked me to go with him for a friend of his, then a friend of mine, but I didn't know him that well at the time, because he was going to do a stand-up.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, can you come with me to support this guy? We went, right. I went, right, sure, yeah. No, I've always liked stand-up, but I never considered going to like an open mic or anything like that. So I went there, and then that guy who we were there to support ended up not coming. He like forgot about it or something, or just didn't turn up.
Yeah. How could he get your...
What? I don't know if he had a nap. I don't know. I don't remember the full details, but he couldn't make it. And then it was like an empty bar.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 people in the audience. 2 of them were me and my friend. And there was a guy on stage, and he was doing crowd work.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, I'm funnier than this guy.
Yeah.
Like, if this guy can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And also my friend, he started, he really wanted to do comedy. He'd been writing bits, and he'd been wanting to do it. And he went under, he was a guy called Nev.
Yeah.
Nev, just full stop. You can find a lot of his shows on YouTube if you want to.
Yeah.
He was good, and then he signed up, and I was like, I'll sign up to it. And I did it like a month or something after him, and then that's it. But when I started, I did a lot of one-liners and wordplay stuff. But then I moved here, and that didn't work.
Yeah, I remember first time I saw you, it was in what's the bar called? Molly Malone's.
Molly Malone.
You had the English
beer
nights.
and jokes.
Yeah. I remember you doing it, and I was like, I don't understand. I mean, I just didn't understand the puns. It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, I spent like...
I realized that it's funny, but I don't know that word.
But yeah, I spent like a lot of time also, like a year maybe here, like just being understandable.
Yeah.
So like my accent is like, it's like a weird mix of like, well, Scottish, sure, there's some words still come out very Scottish, but like being understandable. And so I've softened a lot. To the point where sometimes if I meet a Scottish person who's not been here a while and they're talking to me and they're like, where are you from again? Like I was like,
I'm from Vantaa of Scotland.
Vantaa of Scotland. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, but talking about you thinking I'm shit.
No, I didn't think of shit. I just didn't understand it. Well, yeah, okay.
Because this next story proves that you did, which was I did a gig, a turning point in my career. Let's say I did a gig in Lappeenranta, an old cock.
Yeah,
and I was doing a gig. Ali was on. No, yes,
yeah, Ali
was on, and then you came because you were doing a gig in Lappeenranta that night.
Yeah, we were in Nauron, filming
Nauron Tasapaino. Yeah.
Time, yeah.
So you were filming and you came to that night and I did my stuff and I did the proper stuff that wasn't hosting beer and jokes. And then afterwards you talked to me and you were like, oh, you're not shit. I get it. That was, okay. And that's the moment that you realized. Which is also funny because that kind of came almost full circle. Because once my dad was visiting, and he came to some stand-up. Was it Lepokomies he came to, or was
he was in Lepokomies and also in Kumpula. It was the week.
Kumpula. It was Kumpula. Yeah. So my dad came to Kumpula and he was like watching or whatever because I had a gig and he wanted to come see, so I did my stuff. But my dad said to Heikki afterwards, like, "Hey, that was really good." And he was like, "What? Did you understand anything?" He's like, "No, but it looked really good." Yeah, sure.
Well, that's something that it's weird. I mean, if you don't understand, it's like who was this American comedian woman who was in Ali's English festival? Remember the Arctic Laughs where you were emceeing? I remember I did.
Oh, I remember exactly her name, but I don't know if you want to.
I don't know either. Maybe we don't say the name. But I realized, like, okay, I don't understand anything. Because all the reference from New York is and everything. I was like, no, but I understand that this is funny. I just don't understand anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't really have to know the language. You can see that it's kind of like, okay.
If you ever find who we're talking about, if you Google her and look her up on YouTube, she has a story about hating Helsinki airport.
Oh.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
She didn't seem satisfied anyway about the crowd.
She was not happy with. And I emceed all right. It was fine.
But it was like the same night there was this, is he English comedian, Tiernan
Dweeb.
Yeah. He did everything. He kind of like localized everything and was like, okay, he realized that, okay, this audience doesn't understand my UK references. I will do something else.
He's very good. I used to follow him on Twitter. I don't know what's happening. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Tiernan Dweeb. Yeah, I think he did a lot of comedy for kids stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, maybe that's if you do comedy for kids, you realize that
you need to.
Yeah, when you come to Finland, you have to. Also, you realize like I have to be really.
I
can't be certain that they will understand my point if I don't. That's really in a way American and especially New Yorker attitude also.
Yeah, just of course you'll understand. Like everybody knows our culture.
Yeah. It's like no,
not necessarily. Because I mean, I've noticed that when I host like the Comedy Store thing, Comedy Store London, not the US Comedy Store, when they do nights here in Apollo, like the people are from like everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's no real central reference point.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was doing it, I've asked where people are from when we have like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Poland, Hungary, like UK, US.
Well, that's
like
what
everywhere.
I find out also in the Arctic Laughs was like everybody just thinks that you have English nights, so there's going to be English people and American people and maybe a few Canadians.
Yeah.
Maybe like, Australians. But it's like, no, they are all over. There's going to be some like Czech
because
people.
if people live here in Finland and they don't speak Finnish, they probably speak English.
Yeah, at least some.
At least some, because like, well, if you're here and you're trying to survive without Finnish, like English is then the go-to. Except for Swedish, of course.
Sure. It's probably easier with English than in Swedish.
But in English, so like, of course, people are going to be from everywhere. Yeah, you can't make that assumption that they're just from the UK or the US or like that's just a crazy thought that you would think that.
That is, come to think of it, I lost my point completely. Sorry.
Who cares?
It's really weird. It must be difficult for you also. No, you're speaking English, but it's weird because I get some idea and I'm like, okay, it's in Finnish. And then I'm starting to translate it. And then I'm like, oh, I lost it.
No, it's gone.
I lost it. The same thing I found out when I was really bad at improvisation on stage in English. I remember on that Arctic Labs, I was like going, now I'm going to like do a bit of a crowd work. And I was like, only thing I could say like, fuck you. That was the only thing that came out of my mouth. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. Back to material.
Yeah, maybe I should do the stuff that I actually prepared.
Yeah. Okay, but why did you just said you 10 years.
10 years,
10 years you have lived here. Why did you move here? In a way, it's kind of a... I mean,
it's the reason basically most... I can't say most, but most people I've talked to anecdotally, anecdotal evidence would suggest that a lot of people move here for love.
Yeah.
I moved here for love. She was studying, I met her in Glasgow. She was studying psychology. And then she didn't want to study psychology anymore. So she came back to Finland and I followed her.
Yeah, that's a lesson for all the Perässä people. It's kind of like they're not coming for our jobs. They're coming for love.
Well, I mean, I think one of their points is also like stealing Finnish women, so maybe that's not.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
Maybe that's not the
the
message that we're sending out. But then unfortunately that did not last or work out. But not for a second after we ended the relationship, I didn't consider leaving.
Yeah.
Like I never considered leaving. Like I I really love it here. So I was like, well, I'll look for a flat in Galileo somewhere.
Yeah.
Not at any point did I consider that I would like go back to Scotland.
Yeah, it's nice to go back for a while and then, but you feel like, well, you are a Finnish citizen now.
Yes, I am a Finnish citizen. Yes.
But you're also a Scottish citizen, right?
I am also a UK citizen. Yeah, unfortunately, Scotland doesn't have its own.
Yeah. Independence, you don't have it. Even though Mel Gibson tried.
Mel Gibson tried his best. 2000. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This year. The independence vote.
The vote.
10 years ago this year.
And that's why you came.
Yeah, that's why.
It didn't work out. I'm going to Finland. But so, how do you think when you started to do stand-up here?
I did.
So was that, how did it work out? I mean, like, how did you, you move here, you don't know anyone except, of course, my
partner,
And that's kind of like, well, I'm going to continue doing stand-up. How did you start
And I remember, and still, and correctly, my partner said to me, because I said, I think I'm going to try and continue doing stand-up here. And she said, and I think correctly, she went, just so you know, you'll probably never do anything or make like any money like doing stand-up in Finland. Which I think
she was wrong.
She was wrong, but I think it's a fair point. Like statistically, she's correct.
Yeah.
That's she wasn't trying to be mean. She was trying to be realistic. But it's funny because it did happen to work out. But
in fairness, it would be statistically also, even though you would live in Glasgow and do stand-up, statistically you would not make
nothing. I would make nothing. But I moved here, and then I knew that there was the beer and jokes for Molly's because I'd done that when I visited here for the first time. And Harry Soinila was running it at that point, I believe, or at least hosting. And he told me about On the Rocks, Mikään Kato On the Rocks, when Ali was running it. So I moved here and I was like, well, I guess I'll try that. So I went there and then I met people like Piotr Vihola, Henrik Czesik, Leo, Viking Holmström, all these people, and we, Fatih, Ahmed, and we started hanging around, and then, just from there, obviously they helped me, like, oh, these go here, we're just going around and just basically like any open mic starting. Like you go to one place that you know as a thing, and then you branch out. From there, you meet people and you go, they run a gig there. Oh, that runs there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as in Finnish also.
Yeah, exactly. It was honestly no different than if anyone started here. I think. Yeah. Other than, of course, I was speaking English. But the thing is, basically every night here can be mixed. And if there's one or two English, it's not an issue. like at all. I think in 10 years, maybe one time, one person has been like, meh.
Yeah.
And like left when I was on.
Yeah.
That was in Karkila, by the way. But no, they weren't being mean. This woman was just a bit too much to drink. She went, I don't understand, and finished. Like, I no matter. And then just sort of like walked out for me. And I was like, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's okay. It's understandable.
Well, many times in Lepakkomies or somewhere where we were having a club, some people come and ask, is there any English? Like, because they have a foreigner who doesn't
like
speak
a friend,
Finnish. Yeah, like a friend. So they would come if there would be at least one.
Yeah.
So that at least there's something for that person.
Yeah.
Otherwise than listening to Finnish like for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And especially Finnish stand-up by me. If you don't understand the language, it's going to be... You have to be really fast learner.
You have to get going.
Yeah.
But actually, I think that's also why, because like we said, I do have citizenship, so I passed the UKI test and all that. And my understanding of Finnish, I think, is pretty decent.
Yeah.
I would say. My speaking, not so much, but understanding.
It's actually pretty good, I would say.
I should just need to do it.
Yeah.
It's very not confident. But anyway, I think listening to, because I have listened to a lot of Finnish, because I've listened to a lot of stand-up, like all the time, and people are speaking quickly, and they say that when you know a language, when you can understand humor in that language. But that's the only thing I understood. I understood for a long time, because it was just stand-up. That's what I did. I had nothing else to do here but like hang out with my partner, of course. But then like hobby-wise, it was just stand-up. All stand-up all the time, constantly, for the past 10 years.
That's a lot of stand-up.
It's a lot of stand-up. But I've managed to do all right.
Yeah. Do you find any, what was the biggest difference between like UK stand-up comedy or Finnish? Were there any?
I think the only difference, because like the Finnish system, stand-up is based more on the UK way of doing stuff, UK and Ireland way of doing stuff, rather than the Americans. Like here we do 20-25 minutes as a headliner, as opposed to like 40 minutes. I know back in the day they would do like 40 minutes as their first gig and stuff, but that's
but that was something else to know.
But so the difference, I mean, to be honest, not too much. The one difference I really noticed was that stand-up is almost like a stricter set of rules of what stand-up is here. And I came to understand that the reason for that is because stand-up grew out of the theatre here. There's a lot of theatre directors and actors, and stand-up had to have this strict set of rules to separate it from like character and sketch work. Yeah. So that you have to like, no, we have to establish this as a thing. Yeah. These are the rules of the thing. This is how you know it's the thing and it's not the other thing. Yeah. Whereas in the UK, because it's older and it comes out of music hall, which is more variety based, there's like lots of different weird acts and a lot of character acts because it's not associated with that same theatre tradition. So that's the one thing I noticed. Yeah. That's a very dry, boring answer. But it's a genuine thing that I noticed.
I think it was because I think the strictness about it was because we had that kind of like when we talked with Riku Suakas here on the last episode or the last, well, I don't know. Was it the last? Recent episode that has been now published. It was Riku Suakas. And I think it was kind of like, because in Finland also had like, not a music hall kind of like very, but they were like these Iltama, kind of like these people who were like singing.
Like troubadour type stuff?
Yeah, kind of like they're doing like
funny songs
and then telling jokes, like old jokes, like kind of way, and like entertain, which is, it's not bad, but it was so, I think that's why we still, when somebody picks up a fucking guitar, I'm like, oh no.
You're going to get in trouble again.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's good, it's funny, it's but it's kind of like, let's not go back to Jaakko Teppo again. With no disrespect of what Jaakko Teppo was doing, it's great, but it's kind of like we are different. We are more urban. We are more like kind of like
urban. Is that the word you want to use?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I just realized. But it's
You're more
like
street gangster.
No, I meant like in cities, because in Finland you have to.
No,
remember,
I know what you meant. I'm making fun of you. I'm sorry.
In the 60s, they moved from the countryside to the cities.
I know. So
we're kind of like
the history of Finland is
it's really
swamps, forest, cities, Nokia.
Yeah, that's probably
that's it.
Yeah, and now it's all gone to hell.
Wow.
No. Okay,
that's good boots.
That's the difference. So
good tires.
Yeah, good tires. I'm sorry.
What they should do is make. Here's my pitch for Nokia: make touchscreen tires.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I was thinking about should we cut off the word? But I didn't.
No, I know you. I'm just kidding. It's correct word.
Yeah,
it's the correct word. I was just making you nervous for no reason.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that clip? Have you ever seen that clip of when Jimmy Fallon is interviewing RuPaul?
No.
And he says to RuPaul, so you're like one of the most famous drag queens, and RuPaul's like, drag queen? And for a moment, Jimmy Fallon thinks he's about to be completely cancelled. Like he said the wrong word. And just the look on his face of pure horror of like his career is flashing before his eyes. And he's like, and then RuPaul says something like I'm the drag god or something. Something. But like you can just see his whole career flash. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it worked out because I was shit. But
no, our urban area is like a size. It's completely.
But it's okay.
Word.
So do you ever miss? Because you talked about your friend. We can see him on YouTube and everything. I'm not sure if Nev is the one who actually became like quite.
No,
but some of your peers at the time were playing big shows in UK. Do you ever feel like if you stayed there, you could have been more successful in a?
Of course you never know, and of course I would like to imagine that that's true.
Yeah,
but of course you never know. I could have just done nothing. You know, I mean, life could have got in the way. I could have just been bad, comparatively to other people. But yeah, some people I started out with who are really good, and they're like one guy is currently supporting Frankie, or was, or maybe still is supporting Frankie Boyle on tour. One sold out King's Theatre, which is like 1,700 seats, and is doing really well on like Instagram, TikTok and stuff. Has one clip that went crazy, like 60 million views, crazy. Like, which is a really good clip. It's about transphobia in Northern Ireland. Very funny clip. Mark Jennings is his name. Check him out. Another person who's Christopher MacArthur Boyd, and they have a podcast. Because everybody.
What
has
a surprise!
Everybody has a podcast.
You have a podcast.
I have a podcast. I wasn't going to mention it, but I have a podcast coming out called Ray Zambino is Finished, about Finnish culture, not about like saunas and drinking and holes in the ice, but like actual Finnish
sounds
culture.
Really interesting.
Like you talked about the comic Mammula. That we'll probably not use that episode, so we need to get you back
because
it was a test.
Yes,
but it was good, and it. But and then some people like one person who started like just before me in Scotland is like doing like extremely well, like has their show on the BBC iPlayer doing well. So.
No, but in a way that you can also you are hosting the Comedy Store nights.
Sure.
In Finland, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. And then you open for Ismo and everything. So I mean, somebody opens for Frankie Boyle, but you have been opening for the most funniest man in the world.
Well, that's true. I opened for Ismo. I opened for TJ Miller.
Yeah.
I opened for Jason Byrne.
Yeah.
I opened for someone else.
That was a weird night, the Jason Byrne night. It was this in Apollo. That was something like, I was like, why? I mean, it was fun, but it's still like, this audience is crap. I have to say.
The audience, they were very eager to be involved. At least some of them. And then the rest of them were getting annoyed that the other people were getting involved.
Yeah, because the first 3 rows were so into it. Like, hey, Jason, have a drink.
Yeah. They bought him salmiakki. And I think someone said to me, Jason doesn't really drink, like at all. So that's not great if you don't really drink, just a shot of salmiakki.
Yeah.
That's not the best. But yeah, but like I've done other stuff that like sounds good, but then never comes to anything. Like for example, like before I left in Scotland, I got like a review in the national paper, like a tabloid paper, like Gildas Animat type, called The Daily Record, and there was a review in it for the like open mic night at the proper comedy club, like the Stand Comedy Club, and it was like a review of the whole night, and then it said about the headliner, and then it said, but it was newcomer Ray Zambino's clever like one-liners that made him stand out. Yeah. Or something like that. And I was like, that's it. That's my ticket. Yeah. That was 11 years ago. Yeah. 10 years plus. Yeah, 11 years ago.
Well, that's the difference between the UK and Finnish stand-up culture, is that you will get reviews to some like a proper newspaper about an open mic night. That is something we only get, like maybe Jukka Lindström will get.
Well, yeah, but again, that's because the Stand is like, and it's not like, it wasn't like a big part of the paper. Do you know what I mean? It was like a small, like tiny thing, but like because the Stand is like the comedy club. It's an actual comedy club. Yeah, like it's only for comedy. Yeah, nothing else. Well, it's a great place, by the way. It's an amazing.
That is something that we are missing, but maybe it's just
because I mean, people throughout the years have always talked about opening a comedy club.
That's no point.
Well, that's always the conclusion at the end of the conversation, isn't it? This would be nice, but what are we going to do the rest of the days? Yeah, we still need to pay rent on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like something to have a comedy club. If we would have a place that had 2-3 shows every day, it would be.
Yeah, even one show every day.
Yeah, it's
would be. Yeah. But like, do we have enough people? Is it sustainable?
Yeah. It should be. They have a really good kitchen and people could eat and something like that.
Well, that's the.
But restaurant business, as we know, it's not really easy. So
no, like 80% of things fail in the first year, etc. So that's why no one's really tried.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's been suggested, it's been talked about a million times, I'm sure, and I'm sure it still will be, but until someone bites that bullet, then.
But it's kind of like, how many people live in Glasgow?
Like 800 to a million.
Yeah, but it's not that much. I mean, it's bigger.
800,000, not just 800.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, in a way, if we combine all the Espoo, Helsinki, Vantaa, in a way, it would be the same, but it's not the culture. It's not
the culture. No, because again, stand-up is so much older in the UK. And there's much more of a, like in Glasgow, there's much more of a culture of everybody thinks they're funny. Yeah. Like you kind of need to be funny. Like you need to at least be banter or else you're just a miserable whatever. Because it's like, even just going home and like going to a bar, you order a drink, and I was just waiting, and then the person behind the bar was like having banter with me, like, oh, what have you been up to today? And I was like, oh yeah, right, okay, yeah, so we talk to each other. That's right. I completely forgot about that.
You become too Finnish.
I became too Finnish, which is funny. I go, like I mentioned earlier, but when my dad visits, he doesn't give it up. Yeah. So he still tries to do it to the bar people here who just go, and they look at me like, what am I meant to do?
Like, sorry.
Help. I'm like,
can't help it. He's
my one of my dad's favorite jokes in a bar is, so I don't drink beer usually. Yeah. So I get like Lonkara here, but it doesn't exist in Scotland, so I used to drink vodka. But anyway, it's like I have a beer and a Lonkara, and then the person says, do you want ice? And my dad always says, not in the beer. Every time, without fail. It's not funny. It's never been funny. But he will always say it. And it's the reactions here are great because people go, what? I wasn't going to...
Why would
I put it in the beer?
What do you think?
He's not being... I'm like, he's not being serious. Just move on.
No, but your dad is a fun guy. He's kind of like
you should get him on.
Happy.
Get him on.
No, I wouldn't understand anything. That's the problem with you. He doesn't understand me, and I don't understand him.
What a great podcast.
That would be like, what? Do you want some ice? No, not on the beer.
That'd be an excellent recording.
Oh yeah. Do you have? I know you have because I've heard it twice already.
A comedy memory. Comedy memory. Yes. So I didn't see that much stand up before I started, but one stand up I did go and see. I in the Edinburgh Festival. I did go and see Michael McIntyre live. I went with my mum, and that was nice. And like my mum's very nice. Well, nice, kind, like funny. But like, for some reason, we're at this Michael McIntyre show, right? And he was talking to the audience, and he talked to someone, and my mum thought he was talking to her. He wasn't. He was talking to the person behind. Now, what my mum didn't know was that the person behind's partner had got up and went to the bathroom, and that's what he was addressing. Yeah. So he said, "Where's your husband gone?" or "Where's your husband?" or something. And my mum, it was directly behind my mum, so my mum thought he was talking to her.
Yeah.
And of all times, I don't know why, I don't know what happened in her brain, but she thought, now of all times, I'm going to try and be funny. This is my time to be funny. And she just looked at Michael McIntyre and said, "My husband's dead." "He's not dead." And Michael McIntyre wasn't even talking to her and just looked at her and went, "What?" And she was like, my husband's dead. And he was like, "I'm not talking to you, and I'm sorry." Because I think in her head she thought, because I was next to her, like that was clearly her son, that was like, "Why is your partner not here?" Like he was having some banter, but like he just sort of went, and then moved on. Just the whole show, just like going, "Why? Why did you do this? What happened?" So that's probably my comedy memory.
How old were you actually?
16?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Ish. 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah. Michael McIntyre was really big.
Michael McIntyre was huge. And then before he was huge, he was like massive in the club scene. Because that's one thing about, I mentioned TikTok and stuff earlier, but TikTok, like on one hand, it's really annoying all the crowd work stuff that's on social media, because that gives people sometimes a wrong view of what a stand-up night is, because most comedians don't do crowd work. It's prepared routines that if you interrupt them, they get flustered and confused. So it doesn't really work. But then there are people who are great at crowd work, like Jose Simola, amazing at crowd work. Like you do that to him all you want because he'll win. Do it to me and I'll go and then just continue with what I was saying anyway. But the great thing about social media and TikTok is it's allowing people who were in the club scene, sort of just being there for years and have been like playing the Comedy Store in London for like years, to suddenly have an audience and suddenly have a tour. Like there's a guy in London who's been like a stalwart, he's been at the Comedy Store for years and whatever, called Jeff Innocent. And he is now doing a tour in the UK because of social media. He's like 60 something, mid 60s. Yeah. And then now he's broke through an overnight success.
Yeah, he's doing it for 40 years now.
Yeah. I think it's like 20, 30 years. Yeah, 20
but
something.
That's the great part about those old, in a way, Jussi's not that old.
No,
but it's kind of like now.
But Jussi's been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah, I know. But it's kind of like it's really good when you actually have something to offer. It's not an overnight success. I mean, it looks like an overnight success.
But he's built up. He has everything to deliver.
Years and years and years of hard work, and then suddenly you get it. And then when they come to see you, you actually are.
You can do it. Yeah, because that's the thing. Because if you get a lot of social media success early, and then people come see you, and you're still developing, it's like, well, this isn't what I want. Yeah. And you're like, well, you need to have time to back stuff up. Yeah. Like I heard. I don't know if this is true, so this is rumors. Don't know if it's true, but like that in the UK, people were doing like TikTok stars, like did a show, sold out because they're big on TikTok, but they didn't have an act. Yeah, so they were like, "Remember this TikTok?" It's basically reenacting TikTok stuff, which is not good. But it's good for people who have been doing performing for years.
Yeah, I mean, if you do a solo show somewhere and you have to be there for 90 minutes and you don't have anything.
Yeah, that's
and
rough.
Especially you can't use those that everybody's seen on TikTok. You're kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Might try some crowd work.
Yeah. No, but
where's your husband?
He's dead.
Oh no.
Oh no. But it's great. It's great for people who are like undiscovered gems of the scene,
that is
and then
true.
can do really well.
I still hate TikTok. I still do. I don't
basically, all I'm saying is you should do more social media.
Yes, I know, but I don't want to. I'm too lazy. But you have to edit them.
Pay someone.
No, I don't.
I've seen how much you earn.
I don't want to pay anyone. I also should learn myself.
Disclaimer: I have not seen how much he earns. I lied.
Yes, he has. I tell him every day.
Well, yeah. He calls me up and goes, "You still poor?"
Yeah. I have a boat. No, I don't. I don't have a boat. No.
Find the boat.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
Okay. What's the recommendation?
Oh, sorry. Yes. When did this podcast start?
When did this podcast? Oh, yeah. We started this during COVID.
Corona. Yeah. Okay. My tip. My tip, I think, would be this goes against sort of finishness, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's something I kind of alluded to earlier. But I think if you want something and you really feel strongly that you can do it, you should just ask. Just ask for stuff. Yeah. Just let people know that you're interested. Because what's the worst that can happen? You're either in the same position that you don't have the thing, or you get the thing and you're in a better position.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real proper downside. Maybe there's some embarrassment but that's part of the skill of knowing when to ask. Because sure, don't just ask for everything. Don't try and get everything like right away. That's useless. But knowing when to ask for something and push for it and sort of advocate for yourself, I think is a good thing. And a lot of Finnish people don't seem to do that, at least in comedy. The people I know, because people are like, oh, we're not doing this gig or not doing this. I'm like, did you ask?
Yeah.
No. Oh, well, I did.
They should know it.
They should know. I will wait here to be picked.
Yeah. I'm at my home. You can pick me up.
Yeah. You know where I am. You've seen me. You should have heard. It's like, yeah, but people forget stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've been booked for stuff because I happened to bump into someone and they remembered I existed.
Yeah.
It's not just because I was top of their mind, not because of anything I did or whatever. It's just like, oh yeah, that person exists. Sometimes you forget. There's a lot of people if you're booking stuff. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you accidentally miss people out and there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
That's I guess maybe one other tip or one other bit of advice I always try to think of is like, don't attribute to malice what can be put down to stupidness, forgetfulness, or just being a human.
Yeah.
Like, mostly people are not out to get you.
Yeah, I know, but it is something like, it's something that I speak a lot of with my friends. So everything, people are like, well, they are against me.
It's like, no, not really.
Why would they be against me?
They don't really think about you.
You're a social worker. Why would they be fucking against? It's like kind of like, it's just really, it's something they don't like me. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
why? Why? I mean, you're not a bad person. Why wouldn't they like you? They just, well, they don't book me or they don't give me stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that's
not to do with you.
Yeah,
they might forget. For example, I will give you an example of this exact thing. I was booking a gig in Turku for many years, Monk and then Dynamo, secret comedy, with Henrik Chesik, and we were booking that for years and years. And then suddenly one month we were like, have we ever booked Paul Westlake?
Yeah.
No. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just never have. Yeah. There's no reason that we didn't book him.
Yeah.
We just forgot.
Yeah.
For many years. And then went, oh, we should book him.
Yeah.
And then booked him. And he could have easily went, well, those guys are never booking me. There must be a problem.
Yeah. But that's not Paul.
No, it's not. But like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
And I was just, I mean, and I'm not saying myself, I don't sometimes get a bit paranoid about stuff.
Yeah, I know. I get also, but it's always weird. This thing. I think it comes with that there's at some point a comedian will have this kind of like a bitter.
Oh yeah, you have to.
See, like why
it's a rite of passage.
Why are they booking Ray and not me? And it's kind of like you have to. But it's never. It's always like there's somebody doesn't like me. It's never like, maybe I'm not good enough. It's always like, I am the best, but for some reason they don't like me.
Do you remember? No, nothing. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you think we covered everything? Is there something? We have to promote something.
Well, yes.
Your tour.
I'm doing a tour with Suomen Stand-Up Club. You can't see the logo because we lost a third camera. By the way, in case anyone's wondering, how come they don't use the wide shot anymore? There's no camera.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. And plus, no one liked it. So, But yeah, I'm doing a tour with Suomen Stand-Up Club. Details are out now.
Yeah,
I believe, as of the time of this coming out. You can check out those dates on Suomen Stand-Up Club /Ray. Have my own page.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting? Also, or rayzambino.com. And I think there will be maybe some more dates added as we go along. Maybe not. Depends on how people are feeling. But yeah, if you are all interested, or if you have like a foreign partner, or you know someone with a foreign partner, and they want to do something together that everybody understands, like an hour 20 minutes of English comedy.
Yeah.
And about Finland, about Scotland.
Say the word.
Suggest.
I suggest to everyone, even though you are completely Finnish, and you just only thing you have to do is understand a little bit of English. That's it. Yeah,
because I talk about like Finland and living in Finland, but also like Finnish mythology, like Kalevala stuff, and Scottish mythology, and a third thing that you will need to come to the show to find out what that's about. But yeah, it's good. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Are you going to do, we didn't talk about, you did a gig in Finnish for a few minutes in Leppäkomies. It went well.
I did a gig in Finnish in Leppäkomies for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It went well, but I feel it's kind of cheating. It's not, but it's kind of easy mode because people are so happy for you and like on your side.
Yeah,
they're so on your side of like you can do it. It's almost patronizing. It's not, but I will do. I will try to do more gigs in Finnish.
No, because it's been well because your stuff works. Yeah,
it did go. Yeah, but I've tried to write some stuff. Yeah. I've always kind of had it in the back of my mind, like if it can translate into Finnish.
Yeah,
because I should and will do it eventually. All I need to do is build up 20-25 minutes, and then I'll be unstoppable.
Yeah,
no one can stop me.
Well, it's different in a different
language.
Except
in any other country.
It's like the same, even though English is a bit different, but still, even when I do an English set, I have to like really memorize it.
Yeah,
you can't go like.
I had to do it like a lot. I had to do it like a lot phonetically.
Yeah.
Because I understand what the words mean, but like maybe the conjugations. Maybe.
And you also have to...
Kirkkomaalouksessa was one that
I
which I had to say over and over again so to get it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Kirkkomaalouksessa.
That is...
Yeah, it's not easy to say.
And it's easy, like even you would understand it, the audience have to understand
it.
Like, what? Kirkkomaalouksessa. It's always funny when the foreign comedians come and they like Finnish sounds like this, and you're like, it does not sound anything like that.
That's the thing. That's one rule I have for myself. I also didn't mention this. One rule I have for myself: if a foreign comedian can come here and make the same jokes I'm making about Finnish culture, then I can't do them.
Okay. That is, yeah.
That needs to be a little bit deep, at least a layer deeper. Of course,
because you lived here 10 years. I mean? That is
if
true.
I make a reference to like Facery Mokat or something, people go,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
Yeah, it's not like the people like it really much, but usually some big star comes here and they talk like, no, it's cold and you don't smile. It's kind of like, oh yeah, that is what we are. Yeah. Thank you, Ray. This was a pleasure. I hope we got it this time. I hope
this is the last chance.
This is the last chance. The third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
Yes. Mutta, should I say it in English or anything?
Finnish, I believe.
Yes, but I can say it in English, so you can find maybe somebody who doesn't speak Finnish listens to this because of this is our first English language podcast. So if go and see suomenstandupclub.fi. /Ray.
You
can see the tour or rayzambino.com. You can find all the details and Ray's podcast is you're going to be probably going to promote it on social media when it comes out.
It should come out. By the time this comes out, it should be some episodes.
So listen to that also.
Yeah, Ray Zambino is finished.
Yes. So kiitos tästä jaksosta taas. Seuraava jakso on varmaan suomeksi sitten. Mutta kiitos kun jaksoit kuunnella tätä ja kuuntele muitakin jaksoja ja muista joka toinen viikko tulee jakso ja heikkivilja.fi löytyy minun keikat ja silleen, niin hei, nähdään taas. Moi.